Life isn't going to hand you a map to success. There is no golden ticket. You know why? Because the secret of life isn't some mythical treasure hidden in the clouds. It's a fire, and that fire burns inside you. But let's get real, most people don't even know it's there. They're too busy looking for shortcuts, whining about their circumstances, or sitting in the shadow of their own fear. Not you. Not today. Life's secret is painful growth. Life's secret lies in painful growth, a concept most people shy away from because it sounds harsh, unforgiving, and uncomfortable. But if you strip away all the fluff and excuses, you'll realize that the moments that truly shape us are the ones drenched in pain, struggle, and adversity. Growth doesn't come from sitting in comfort, from cruising through life without a challenge, or from avoiding situations that push your boundaries. Growth happens when you willingly step into discomfort, face your fears head on, and endure the storms that life inevitably throws your way. Pain isn't your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. Most people are so busy running away from it that they miss the profound lessons it holds. Every setback, every heartbreak, every failure is an opportunity in disguise. Pain strips away the illusions we build around ourselves, revealing who we truly are when the world isn't watching. It's not there to destroy you, it's there to refine you. The problem is, most people don't see it that way. They label pain as bad, something to avoid at all costs, but avoiding it only delays the inevitable. Sooner or later, life is going to test you. It's going to put you in situations where you have to decide, will you face the fire and come out stronger, or will you let it consume you? Think about the moments in your life when you felt the most alive, the most accomplished. Were those moments born out of ease? Were they handed to you without effort? Of course not. They were the result of pushing through something difficult, something that seemed impossible at the time. That's the essence of painful growth. It's in the sweat dripping from your brow when you push your body to its limits. It's in the tears streaming down your face when you fight through heartbreak or loss. It's in the moments when you feel like you've hit rock bottom and there's no way out, yet you somehow muster the strength to keep going. But growth doesn't happen automatically just because you experience pain. It requires a mindset shift. You have to look at pain not as a punishment, but as a privilege. Every time life knocks you down, it's giving you a chance to rise higher than before. It's giving you the tools to build a stronger version of yourself. But most people don't see it that way. They see pain as a wall, an obstacle that's too high to climb. And that's where they stop. But the truth is, pain isn't a wall, it's a doorway. It's the entrance to a version of yourself you've never met, a version that's tougher, smarter, and more resilient. The problem is, stepping through that doorway isn't easy. It requires courage, discipline, and a willingness to confront your fears and insecurities. Most people would rather stay in their comfort zones, even if it means living a life of mediocrity. They choose temporary relief over lasting growth, not realizing that the price of avoiding pain is far greater than the price of facing it. Avoiding pain means settling for less, giving up on your potential, and living a life filled with regret. But when you embrace pain, everything changes. You start to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. You stop fearing failure because you understand that failure is just another form of feedback, a way to learn and improve. You stop caring about what other people think because you realize that their opinions have no bearing on your growth. Pain becomes your ally, your guide, and your fuel. The truth is, the people who achieve the most in life are the ones who have endured the most pain. They're the ones who have faced rejection, failure, and criticism but refused to give up. They're the ones who have taken every punch life has thrown at them and turned it into power. They're not special or lucky, they've just learned to embrace pain and use it to their advantage. The next time you're faced with pain, don't run from it. Don't try to numb it or distract yourself from it. Instead, lean into it. Feel it. Learn from it. And most importantly, let it transform you. Because the secret of life isn't in avoiding pain, it's in harnessing it and using it as a catalyst for growth. That's where true strength lies. That's where the magic happens. And that's how you unlock the best version of yourself. Adversity is the teacher. Adversity is life's most effective teacher, though it rarely feels like it in the moment. When you're standing in the middle of a storm, battered by circumstances beyond your control, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. You might even think the universe is out to break you. But adversity is not your enemy, it's your instructor. It has no agenda to destroy you, no desire to see you fail. Instead, it exists to test you, to strip away the unnecessary and reveal the core of who you really are. It's in these moments when you're pushed to your absolute limits that life delivers its most profound lessons. The thing about adversity is that it doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't knock politely and ask for permission to enter your life. It crashes in like a wave, often when you least expect it. And it doesn't care about your plans, your comfort, or your timeline. It demands your attention, forcing you to confront your fears, your weaknesses, and your doubts. This is where most people falter. They see adversity as an unfair obstacle, something to resent and avoid. But what they fail to realize is that the struggle itself is the path forward. It's not blocking you from growth, it is the growth. When adversity strikes, it brings with it a choice. You can either let it define you, or you can use it to redefine yourself. Most people take the first option, fall into patterns of blame, self-pity, and resignation. They tell themselves stories about why they can't succeed, why the odds are stacked against them, why it's not their fault. These stories might feel comforting in the short term, but they come at a cost. They rob you of your agency, your power, and your potential. The other option is harder. It requires you to look adversity in the eye and say, I'm not afraid of you. I will face you, and I will learn from you. This isn't about pretending the struggle doesn't exist or minimizing the pain it causes. It's about acknowledging the reality of the situation while refusing to let it defeat you. It's about finding strength in the struggle and using it to become better, stronger, and wiser. Think about the people you admire most in life. The ones who have achieved greatness, who have overcome incredible odds, who inspire others with their resilience and determination. Do you think they got there by avoiding adversity? Of course not. They became who they are because they faced their challenges head on. They didn't shy away from the hard stuff. They leaned into it, learned from it, and used it to propel themselves forward. Adversity doesn't just reveal character, it builds it. Every time you face a challenge and overcome it, you add another layer to your strength, your wisdom, and your resilience. You learn things about yourself that you could never discover in times of comfort. You find out what you're capable of, what you're willing to fight for, and how far you're willing to go. You discover that you're stronger than you thought, tougher than you realized, and more resourceful than you ever imagined. But here's the catch: the lessons of adversity aren't automatic. You don't grow simply because you've been through a tough time. Growth requires intention. It requires you to reflect on your experiences, to extract the lessons they offer, and to apply those lessons moving forward. This is where most people get stuck. They go through the motions, enduring the struggle without ever really engaging with it. They survive, but they don't thrive. To thrive in the face of adversity, you have to adopt a mindset of curiosity and determination. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me, ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of saying, this is too hard, say, this is making me stronger. These shifts in perspective might seem small, but they can have a profound impact on how you experience and respond to adversity. The truth is, adversity is not something to fear or avoid. It's something to embrace. It's the furnace in which resilience is forged, the battlefield where strength is earned, and the classroom where wisdom is taught. It's not always pretty and it's rarely easy, but it's worth it. Because every time you overcome adversity, you become a little more unstoppable. You become the kind of person who can face anything life throws at you and come out on the other side, not just surviving, but thriving. That's the power of adversity. That's its gift. And that's why it's the greatest teacher you'll ever have. Your mind is your enemy and ally. Your mind is both your greatest weapon and your fiercest adversary. It holds the power to elevate you to extraordinary heights or keep you shackled in mediocrity, depending on how well you understand and master it. But let's be real, for most people, the mind is a ruthless enemy. It whispers doubts, amplifies fears, and convinces you that staying safe is better than taking risks. It tells you to quit when things get hard, to stop when you've barely scratched the surface of your potential. If left unchecked, your mind becomes the biggest obstacle standing between you and the life you're capable of living. The mind is wired for survival, not greatness. It's built to protect you from danger, to keep you comfortable, and to avoid risk at all costs. While this was useful for our ancestors avoiding predators in the wild, it's a double-edged sword in the modern world. Today, the threats aren't saber-toothed tigers, they're fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. And your mind treats those fears the same way it would treat a life or death situation that floods you with doubt, hesitation, and excuses, urging you to retreat to what feels safe. But safety doesn't lead to growth. Comfort doesn't lead to greatness. If you want to achieve anything worthwhile, you have to learn to outsmart your mind. This isn't about shutting it off or ignoring it. That's impossible. It's about understanding its patterns, recognizing when it's trying to sabotage you, and choosing to act in spite of it. Because here's the truth, your mind will always default to the path of least resistance. It will always try to talk you out of doing the hard thing, the uncomfortable thing, the thing that might lead to failure. It's up to you to override those instincts and choose the path of growth instead. Think about the last time you gave up on something. Maybe it was a fitness goal, a career ambition, or a personal challenge. Chances are your mind played a big role in that decision. It probably told you that it was too hard, that you didn't have what it takes, or that it wasn't worth the effort. And in the moment, those thoughts probably felt true, but they weren't. They were just your mind's way of keeping you in your comfort zone, where things feel easy and predictable. Now think about the times when you pushed through those thoughts and kept going. Maybe it was a tough workout, a stressful project, or a difficult conversation. Remember how good it felt on the other side, how proud you were of yourself for not giving up. That's the reward for mastering your mind. It's the satisfaction of knowing that you didn't let fear, doubt, or discomfort dictate your actions. The mind is incredibly powerful, but it's also malleable. You can train it to work for you instead of against you. The key is consistency. Every time you push through resistance, every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're rewiring your brain. You're teaching it that discomfort is not something to fear, but something to embrace. You're building mental toughness, one decision at a time. But this isn't a one and done process. Your mind doesn't stay conquered. It will test you every single day in big ways and small. It will tell you to hit snooze instead of getting up early to chase your goals. It will tell you to procrastinate, to settle, to take the easy way out. And every time it does, you have a choice: listen to those thoughts or fight back. Fighting back doesn't mean trying to silence your mind. It means challenging its assumptions, questioning its fears, and taking action even when you don't feel like it. It means recognizing that those voices in your head are not truths, they're just thoughts. And you have the power to choose whether or not to believe them. Mastering your mind is not about eliminating fear or doubt. Those emotions are part of being human, and they'll never fully go away. It's about learning to coexist with them, to feel the fear and act anyway. It's about understanding that discomfort is the price of growth, and that the things you're afraid of are often the very things you need to confront. The greatest battles you'll ever fight are the ones that happen in your own mind. Winning those battles doesn't mean never feeling fear, doubt, or hesitation. It means not letting those feelings control you. It means choosing courage over comfort, discipline over excuses, and action over stagnation. Your mind can be your greatest enemy, or it can be your greatest ally. The choice is yours. But know this greatness begins when you stop letting your mind control you and start taking control of it. That's where the magic happens. That's where you unlock your true potential. Purpose comes through struggle. Purpose isn't something you find by accident. It's something you create through struggle. It's forged in the fire of challenges, failures, and relentless effort. Yet so many people wander through life waiting for purpose to hit them like a lightning bolt, thinking it will appear when the time is right. But that's not how it works. Purpose isn't hiding somewhere, waiting for you to stumble upon it. It's carved out of the hard moments, the times when you wanted to quit but didn't, the battles you fought when no one was watching. Purpose is earned. The truth is, most people go their whole lives without discovering their purpose because they're unwilling to endure the struggle it takes to uncover it. They want the reward without the effort, the clarity without the confusion, and the strength without the pain. But life doesn't work that way. Purpose isn't given to you, it's revealed to you through the choices you make and the challenges you overcome. In the beginning, your purpose might not be clear, and that's okay. When you're starting out, you're not supposed to know exactly what it is. That uncertainty is part of the process. What matters is that you start moving, start working, start pushing yourself to become better, stronger, and more disciplined. Purpose doesn't come from thinking about it or waiting for it. It comes from action, from putting yourself out there, from taking risks and making mistakes. At first, those actions might seem disconnected, like they don't add up to anything meaningful. You might feel like you're spinning your wheels, putting in effort without seeing the results. But over time, those small actions start to build on each other. The dots begin to connect. And eventually you start to see the bigger picture, the purpose behind all the hard work, the failures, and the perseverance. Purpose is not some grand, abstract concept. It's deeply personal and often rooted in the struggles you faced. Think about the things that have tested you the most, the moments that brought you to your knees. That's where your purpose begins to take shape. It's born out of your pain, your resilience, and your determination to rise above. The challenges you faced weren't random, they were shaping you, preparing you for something greater. But finding purpose isn't enough, you have to live it. That means showing up every day, even when it's hard. It means staying committed to your goals, even when progress feels slow. It means choosing to keep going, even when every part of you wants to quit. Purpose isn't something you achieve once and then forget about. It's something you cultivate, something you fight for, something you live and breathe. Living with purpose doesn't mean your life will be easy. In fact, it will probably be harder. Purpose demands more from you. It requires you to push beyond your limits, to keep growing, to face your fears and doubts head on. But it also gives you a reason to endure, a reason to fight through the pain. When you have purpose, the hard times don't feel pointless. They feel like stepping stones, part of the journey, part of something bigger. And here's the thing, your purpose isn't just about you. It's about the impact you have on others, the legacy you leave behind, the ways you make the world a better place. When you live with purpose, you inspire others to do the same. You become a beacon of what's possible, a reminder that struggle is not the end, but the beginning of something extraordinary. The search for purpose is not a straight path. It's messy, unpredictable, and often painful. But that's what makes it so powerful. The struggle shapes you, strengthens you, and prepares you for the responsibilities that come with living a life of meaning. And when you finally discover what drives you, what lights you up, what makes all the hard work worth it, you'll realize that the journey was the reward all along. So stop waiting for purpose to find you. It won't. You have to go out and earn it. You have to dig deep, embrace the struggle, and trust that every step you take is bringing you closer to the life you were meant to live. Purpose isn't a gift, it's a challenge. And the only question is, are you willing to accept it? Accountability breeds strength. Accountability is the backbone of strength. It's the defining line between those who talk about change and those who make it happen. In a world filled with excuses, distractions, and endless opportunities to point fingers, accountability forces you to look in the mirror and take ownership of your life. It's not easy and it's not comfortable, but it's necessary. Without accountability, there's no progress, no growth, and no fulfillment. The truth is, most people avoid accountability because it's brutally honest. It exposes your weaknesses, your failures, and the areas where you've fallen short. It doesn't allow you to hide behind blame or circumstances. It doesn't care about your excuses or the reasons why you couldn't get it done. Accountability demands answers. It forces you to face the reality of your situation and take responsibility for your role in it. And that's precisely why it's so powerful. When you hold yourself accountable, you take back control of your life. You stop waiting for someone else to fix your problems or create opportunities for you. You stop blaming the past, the system, or other people for your setbacks. Instead, you own your choices, your actions, and their consequences. This ownership is liberating because it puts the power back in your hands. It reminds you that no matter what challenges you face, you have the ability to change your circumstances through effort, discipline, and perseverance. But accountability isn't just about admitting your mistakes. It's about doing something about them. It's about setting standards for yourself and refusing to settle for anything less. It's about showing up every day and putting in the work, even when you don't feel like it. Accountability means holding yourself to a higher level, not because someone else is watching, but because you're watching. It's easy to fool other people. You can talk a big game, make promises, and create the illusion of progress. But when it's just you, alone with your thoughts, there's no hiding. You know the truth. You know whether you've given your best effort or cut corners. You know whether you stay disciplined or let distractions take over. And that's where accountability begins, with the relationship you have with yourself. Being accountable means having the courage to call yourself out. It means recognizing when you've fallen short and making the necessary adjustments to get back on track. It's not about beating yourself up or wallowing in guilt. It's about using your mistakes as fuel to improve. Every time you take responsibility for your actions, you grow stronger. You build trust with yourself, knowing that you can count on your own discipline and determination to keep moving forward. Accountability isn't something you master overnight. It's a practice, a daily commitment to living with integrity and intention. It starts with small action setting goals, tracking your progress, and being honest about where you stand. Over time, these small acts of accountability build into habits, and those habits create momentum. Before you know it, accountability becomes a part of who you are, a non-negotiable standard you hold yourself to in every area of life. The beauty of accountability is that it doesn't require perfection. You're going to mess up. You're going to have days when you fall short, when you let doubt or laziness win. That's human. But accountability means not letting those days define you. It means picking yourself up, owning your mistakes, and getting back to work. It means refusing to let setbacks turn into excuses. One of the hardest parts of accountability is admitting when you're wrong. It's uncomfortable to acknowledge your flaws and failures, especially when they affect other people. But accountability isn't about protecting your ego. It's about growth, and growth requires humility. When you take responsibility for your actions, even when it's hard, you earn respect not just from others, but from yourself. Accountability also extends beyond yourself. It's about being reliable for the people who count on you. When you say you'll do something, you follow through. When you commit to a goal, you see it through to the end. This kind of accountability creates trust and strengthens relationships, whether it's with family, friends, or colleagues. People know they can depend on you because you've proven time and again that you hold yourself to a high standard. The world is full of people who avoid accountability, who shift blame and make excuses. But the ones who rise above, who achieve their goals and live fulfilling lives, are the ones who take ownership of everything, successes and failures alike. They understand that accountability isn't a burden, it's a gift. It's a tool that empowers them to shape their own destiny and live with purpose. If you want to grow stronger, you have to start by being honest with yourself. Stop waiting for someone else to hold you accountable. Stop looking for excuses or ways to avoid responsibility. Take ownership of your actions, your decisions, and your life. Because at the end of the day, the only person who can truly hold you accountable is you. And when you do, you unlock a level of strength and freedom that few people ever experience. Embrace the grind, not the glory. Pain is unavoidable. It's an inescapable part of life, a universal truth that spares no one. But what separates those who crumble from those who rise is how they choose to deal with it. Pain can either break you or build you, and the difference lies in your perspective. Most people view pain as the enemy, something to be avoided at all costs. They spend their lives running from it, numbing it, or pretending it doesn't exist. But the truth is, pain is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher, your most honest guide, and a constant reminder that you're alive. Pain strips away the illusions. It doesn't care about your comfort or your ego. It doesn't care about what you think you deserve or the plans you've made. Pain forces you to confront reality, to face yourself in your rawest, most vulnerable form. It peels back the layers and exposes who you truly are. And in that exposure, in that moment of vulnerability, lies the opportunity for transformation. Most people misunderstand pain. They see it as a sign that something is wrong, that they failed, or that they're not strong enough. But pain isn't an indication of weakness. It's a sign that you're stretching beyond your limits, that you're growing, that you're becoming something more. Growth doesn't happen in the absence of pain, it happens because of it. Every breakthrough, every moment of triumph is preceded by a period of struggle, discomfort, and pain. When you face pain, you have a choice. You can let it consume you, define you, and hold you back. Or you can use it. You can let it fuel you, drive you, and push you to become stronger. Pain is energy, and energy can be transformed. The question is, will you let it weigh you down, or will you harness it to rise? There's a certain clarity that comes with pain. It strips away the distractions, the excuses, and the noise. It forces you to focus on what truly matters. When you're in pain, you're not thinking about trivial things or chasing fleeting pleasures. You're in survival mode, completely present in the moment. And that presence is a gift. It's in those moments of pure focus, when you're fully aware of your struggle, that you discover what you're truly capable of. Pain also teaches resilience. Every time you face it and come out the other side, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than you thought. You build confidence, not in the absence of pain, but in your ability to endure it. That confidence becomes a foundation, something you can draw on when the next challenge comes your way. Because make no mistake, the challenges will come. Life doesn't get easier, but you get tougher. Some of the most powerful lessons you'll ever learn come through pain. It teaches you humility, reminding you that you're not invincible and that you don't have all the answers. It teaches you compassion, helping you understand the struggles of others. It teaches you patience, showing you that some battles take time. And most importantly, it teaches you gratitude. When you've endured pain, you appreciate the good moments so much more. You don't take peace, joy, or comfort for granted because you know how fleeting they can be. But pain doesn't just teach, it transforms. It has the power to shape you into a completely different person if you let it. Think about the times in your life when you've experienced the most growth. They were probably the times when you were pushed to your limits, when you were forced to dig deep and find strength you didn't know you had. Pain was the catalyst for that growth. It was the fire that burned away the old version of you and forged something new in its place. Transformation through pain isn't automatic. It's a choice. It requires you to lean into the discomfort, to embrace the struggle, and to trust that there's a purpose behind it. It's not about enjoying the pain or pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about recognizing its value and refusing to let it defeat you. Pain is not the end of the story. It's a chapter, a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey. When you stop running from it and start facing it, you begin to see it for what it really is, a tool. A tool that sharpens you, strengthens you, and prepares you for what's next. The next time you face pain, don't ask, why me? Instead, ask, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? Because pain, when embraced and understood, is not just something to endure, it's something to use. And when you learn to use your pain, nothing can stop you.